Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's D2CL playoff actions. We're in the winner bracket final. We've got VG going up against LGD. Both of them have done very well in the group stages, have destroyed their opponents on the route here, and now they have to play up against each other to try and get themselves into that grand final to get that one spot to the D2CL finals. Let's head over to the draft, see what we're dealing with, and I can welcome in Cinderin. How are you doing this morning?
Hello, I'm good. We've been struggling a little bit with some audio issues, but I hope this is going to work.
Fingers crossed.
I apologize in advance if I might cut out once or twice from Skype, but yeah, I think we're going to be good. So yeah, LGD versus VG Gaming. We talked a little bit about it pre-show. They've played against each other 3 times in the last 8 days, and it's a draw overall. They drew the first series 1-1, then LGD won 2-1, and then VG Gaming most recently won 2-1. So very close matchup with the new rosters. Of course, LGD grabbing Xiaowei is from my perspective, one of the biggest improvements you can get to a team is getting a captain of his caliber, exceptional Chinese player. And then VG Gaming have picked up Hao over Black. I think they've got decent results too, so should be interesting to see. And VG Gaming gets Sniper.
But LGD gets Xiaowei Zeus, and he's been performing really well on that hero. Picking up their, well, what could be their support pairing there with the Vengeance Zeus. You can see Zeus off lane, but I'm pretty sure we'll see Xiaowei just running around, dewarding everything and limiting the vision from VG Gaming. Now, the first bans out there, Queen of Pain and Storm. Storm was seeing...
Yeah, one of the good things about...
I think we might have some delay on Skype. You're a little bit robot-y. Oh,
this
dear.
Is great. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, we've got a little delay, I think.
Yeah, there's like a 1.5 second
on.
period where I say something and then you respond.
It's alright, I'll fix it immediately.
Well, while Cinderen's fixing that, we'll go over the bans. Queen of Pain, Storm, Chen, and Broodmother taken out by LGD, while VG banning out the Batrider, Troll, Clockwork, and Bristleback, while VG pick up a Spectre of their own. I'm pretty sure this is a block pick up against LGD, just saying, well, you know, we've got Sniper, we've banned out the Clock, we're stopping you from having a lot of these long-range initiation heroes, but it also couples up really well with Zeus. So it's not really a big surprise there to pick up the Spectre. We'll see how Hao performs on that hero. LGD now with their third pick, Vengeance Zeus, like I was saying, more likely than not going to be their support duo. Running around with that Venge, throwing magic missiles everywhere, while Xiaowei will be stacking, pulling through, and trying to get up to his level 6 as quickly as he can. But how do you go about taking your third hero? Do you think about your offlaner now? Do you leave your solo mid until later on? Because you're pretty damn sure you're against the Sniper. So it's not as though VG Gaming are going to come out and surprise you with their mid hero. You can definitely plan what you're going to be going for. Shadow Fiend doesn't do that well against Sniper, but VG Gaming with the Axe and Spectre, you're not going to have core heroes running into your lane. If VG go for an Earthshaker, then it's a little more scary. If they go for a Rubik, it's a little more scary. You've got these displacement and long-range initiation tools that allow Sniper to take that Shadow Fiend down. Cinderin talking to us from the 90s, yeah. It's a little bit messy. We couldn't get TeamSpeak to work for some reason. My audio, well, my PC didn't like it. But Lina picked up by VG. We've seen FY run around with this and absolutely demolish people. In one game, I believe he went like 15-3 with Lina by the end of the game. He turns the support Lina into a core by the end. That does mean that Fenrir will be running around with a little less gold, probably like Tranquil Boots and Observer Wards, but we'll see how things go. Shadow Demon is a possibility. We've seen that run a couple of times, but more likely than not, Rubik. LGD picked themselves up the Faceless Void. Huh. There can't be an AA here, can there? There can't be an AA. It's going to be Faceless Void off lane, Zeus and Venge support, Morphling in the safe lane, then they're leaving their mid to last, which, you know, it's kind of understandable. When you don't know what supports you're dealing with, when you don't know who's going to be moving into lane and trying to destroy you, it's a little bit scary picking up your solo mid so early. Now let's see if we can call Sind. Well, that didn't work. Well, we'll wait for him to tell me he's ready. 5th ban for VG. They're looking at banning out mid heroes now. I think you I think a Shadow Fiend's, you know, still a safe ban. What other heroes can you really put up against that sniper? Because at least the Shadow Fiend, you know, he can dip back into the jungle and get some gold back. He's not too bad in lane. It's just when those supports come in and Sniper starts demolishing him. So they take out the puck while LGD take out the AA themselves. They don't want that long-range Ice Blast landing on them along with the Spectre, Sniper. They've got plenty of stuff just to chuck at that Morphling. Actually, that's a good point. AA very good against the Morphling. It will be the Shadow Demon. It will be the Shadow Demon that VG pick themselves up, and they'll be running around looking for kills as early as they possibly can. Sind, hello.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. The little yellow bars on Skype have gone. They're now white. It doesn't say connection issues, so it looks good.
Excellent. Okay, I think we're good. So yeah, what are we looking at here? Shadow Demon, Lina, Spectre. I'm a little bit behind now, obviously. But this is very classic Vici Gaming early aggression with their dual roaming supports. What they used to do in the past was run Shadow Demon Leshrac, but I think they've come to the conclusion, or Rubik Leshrac, but they've come to the conclusion that Leshrac is pretty shit right now, honestly. And the only reason they would really pick him is to use Edict to either push towers or deal with something like Refraction. So since that's not available here, I think their lineup makes a lot of sense. And both teams with some really serious late game. So if this goes very late, I still think I'm favoring Vici Gaming for having Spectre and Sniper. And of course, Shadow Demon to make Morphling illusions is very powerful. But it really comes down to how LGD performed the laning stage. Because for me, this can totally fall apart if the roaming of Vici goes well in the beginning.
Wait, how is this? Is it going to be mid-Zeus then, I guess? I was looking at the Zeus and the entirety of the draft. I was thinking, yeah, shall wait on the Zeus. But then they switched things up at the last minute with a Witch Doctor pick. That Spectre pick, though, from Vici, I really liked it. It was kind of a block pick against, you know, the Zeus global presence, and Spectre's a great hero against the Sniper. You close the gap, you jump on his face, and you make sure he can't just stand in the back lines plinking away at people. But it also works very well here with them. They can run around as 4, have the Axe Lina Shadow Demon destroy people, while How is safely farming somewhere.
I think the goal for Vici Gaming might be to... So what they could do is they can lane the Axe against the Void, but we're assuming it's going to be an off-lane Void here for Yao, which means if they do that, they would have to aggressively try-lane a Spectre, which is garbage. So I think they might have to just off-lane the Axe on the Radiant, just safe-lane their Spectre and make sure Spectre gets complete free farm, because I don't even know... Well, LGD could try to aggressive themselves and run a Witch Doctor, Morphling, Venge tri-lane, and safe-lane Yao. I think that would actually be a really nice choice. But then Yao is one-on-one against the Axe, so they do pay there, but then they shut down the Spectre. It's a pretty difficult choice, actually, here for LGD.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be sending Yao down on the bot lane for now, but looking at their team fight later on in the game, you know, LGD, they've got the Chronosphere, they can throw the Death Ward down into it. I just feel that they need a lot more items to get up and going than VG do, because they're going to need a lot of time to farm up on the Morphling. He's definitely a hero that has his threshold where he does very little between, you know, 7 minutes and 20 minutes. Sure, early on in the laning phase, he's got the waveform, he's got quite a lot of magic damage, and he can get that damage output. But joining team fights and these little skirmishes, he's not that useful.
Unless if he does the flavor of the month thing with
max strength,
morphing a lot into strength and then dropping stuns, which you can do with a carry morph too. And in that weak phase, as you pointed out, I think 7 to 20 minutes is a pretty good estimate. In that weak phase, it might be better to just drop big stuns and let your team do the damage, and then ultimately you take over later. A hero like Zeus can really benefit from a target being stunned for 4.5 seconds. That's pretty crazy. Or, pardon me, 4.25.
Yeah,
well, let's see what happens.
It's an odd value, isn't it? 4.25 seconds. ISSI starts things off with Berserker's Call, will take up the bounty rune. And no, Zeus gets it somehow. But it looks like ISSI just continues chasing, maybe. No one's going to die just yet. No one's going to fall. The body blocks under Silo don't really matter too much. He is water after all and swims himself through the river with the waveform. That was really awkward, though, from both sides.
That was a perfect Berserker's Call from Ice, actually. He got both heroes in it, but he obviously doesn't have counter helix on level 1 when he gets Call, so he didn't really deal any damage, but he skilled the Call to try to get the rune, but he couldn't click it. I think Zeus was just in the way the whole time and he couldn't find an angle. And it's way easier for the guy standing on top of the rune to get it, since he can much easier click under his hero or just move a little bit away. But, well, what do we got out of this? So Void is going to be offlaning one-on-one against Spectre, currently out-farming Hao as expected in the start. 19 damage advantage is pretty huge, but the supports of Vici Gaming will be helping out.
Yeah, Dire Observer Ward spots them moving across though, so Yao knows exactly what he's dealing with. Poor Man's Shield will allow him to trade hits and also tank up the creep wave a little bit if he does want to drag it back to his tier 1 tower. Also pretty good when the Lina comes in, just tries to right-click you. Because this is a hero with that extended range now. She can stand... Look at her. She's just launching these little fireballs. Level 2 backtrack, in fact, from Yao, just saying, well, I'm going to dodge all of this. I don't really care.
He's got... Lina's base damage right now is 49, which means that before reduction, like, just the Poor Man's Shield will block 20 of it. And then you can do the math. She hits for like 20 with every attack, as it looks right now. So, Yao with 4 tangos is actually unusually tanky and sustainable in this lane. FY will keep laying into him until all the tangos are gone, obviously, but at that point in time, Yao might have already found his level 4 or level 5, and being level 3 on the Dire offlane as Void Minute 2 is a really important thing, because this hero can actually be zoned out very well, but not really going to be the case anymore as it looks. What do we got? Ice is level 1. At least he gets a bounty rune for himself, so gets the level 2 finally. He's having a much harder time than the Void.
Yeah, up on top lane, Shao 8 went for the Wave of Terror level 1. They threw the cast down and right-clicked him. Just literally just right-clicked him. He dropped super low, had to drop back behind the tier 1 tower and heal himself up. So Yao, closing in on that level 4, like you said. Light Strike Array is a little bit annoying for him to deal with as Hao jumps in there with a few auto attacks. But last hit-wise, we've got 2 Radiant heroes up there in the top 3. Zeus is struggling a little bit at mid, but that's kind of expected against a sniper, right? Throw the shrapnel down, get the right clicks in. He's also afraid of where the Shadow Demon is.
Yeah, I think it might be more of the roaming factor that is keeping maybe away. And now he is actually going to get caught here with shrapnel and the Soul Catcher. I think he might still live with the TP here.
He gets stunned up. MMY with a perfect TP in. That could have been maybe falling, but the Witch Doctor to the rescue once again.
Yeah. Still, I think a big part of the reason LGD picked Zeus is that he has a good matchup against Sniper. But when the supports are missing constantly from Vici's side, Zeus can't necessarily go and Arc Lightning the wave like he wants to. So if Sniper gets it in a good position, maybe placed very carefully with the supports missing. And like ultimately at this point, when one of the nice boons of Zeus, since he got the ground cast Lightning Bolt, is that even though Sniper has high range, Zeus can actually still hit him in the fog. And put some pressure out and just farm. You see what range Zeus can farm from. Shrapnel, yes, it can work against this, but I think it's more of the roaming threat that's been a problem for maybe here.
Yeah, we've definitely seen people like Sumail and Resolution get literally max CS and fully free farm mid lane with Zeus against Sniper. But Shadow Demon, where is he actually lurking around now? Fenrir with a smoke? Does he smoke up Ice? They're going to definitely guarantee top rune for someone.
I'm not sure. What active rune would they like to find right now? I think if they manage to get a haste or an invis, they'll probably go and kill with Ice with it. Alright, he gets another bounty. I mean,
and
that's also
regen at bot.
Yeah.
Not really what you want.
No, this regen is pretty useless right now for FY. He gets like 100 mana from this. He's gonna take it anyway, I guess. No, he's leaving it. Maybe once, well, Sniper can't really take it.
Well, Zeus is gonna go and pick that up if he has the inclination. Yao down bot lane takes a Dragon Slave to the back. As he just tries and jukes his way around through the trees. Should be perfectly fine. He's brought himself some more regen just to keep himself sustaining down here. Ice up on top though, stunned up. The Berserker's Call will try and keep him alive a little bit longer. He doesn't actually cast it. Gets killed up on his top lane. The LGD piling on the pressure already.
Yeah, that was a very easy kill, and again, it's just Axe is very low level, right? If you found a level 2 Axe and you do manage to land your stuns and your Morphling's level 4 and your support's level 3, your damage output is more than enough to get through his... Like Berserker's Call, like you said, he didn't even get it off, but if he did, it's a 2-second duration, and after that, their physical attacks will just destroy him. So they do finally manage to catch out Yao in the bottom lane here with FY and Hao just putting so much effort into killing this Void, but even then, he's still level 5, minute 5, with 10 CS in the offlane compared to Axe, who has 3 CS, and level, now currently 4, since he got some nice experience here by TPing top.
At what point do you think as an Axe, okay, it's time to go into the jungle? Because right now, he's pushed his lane out. They're smoking up, in fact, with Fenrir. So disruption into Call could be the play here onto maybe. But I guess we'll come back to this point in a second. As Fenrir's smoke gets popped, they're going to go straight in onto the Zeus. Shrapnel to start things off, but the TP comes in. Witch Doctor MMY going to get caught in the call, and this could turn into 2 kills here for VG. As Assassinate just been leveled up by Super.
Yeah, that's a perfect rotation right here. That's the TP actually made matters worse, like you said. They basically got a bonus kill, and in hindsight, it's difficult for the Witch Doctor to realize that it's an Axe coming in and going to use the call, because I think he insta-TP'd on the disruption, and maybe he was expecting a Lina rotation, maybe he was just expecting the Shrapnel, and he wanted to port in close to immediately heal. But ultimately, he ports in the worst position possible and gives Vici Gaming a bonus kill. As for the Axe thing, the big advantage for Ice in staying in the top lane is that he keeps the supports in place. He forces the Witch Doctor and the Venge to really stay on top of him, because else he will be able to lane decently against the Morph lane. So it opens up the map for Vici Gaming to move their supports and be the initiators, as you saw there. If Axe moves into the jungle and he's permanently there, LGD will not stay top.
Yeah, absolutely right. Now, that Thunder God's Wrath out from Maybe, it may have seemed a little bit, I don't know, wasteful, but he didn't use any mana. He was in a fountain, obviously, so he's regenning up. But it's the pressure you put onto Super. You know that he's not going to be lifestealing or regenning up too much. And now he's sitting on 200 HP. He has to sit by the tier 1 tower. He's constantly under threat, especially with Xiao 8 just running in there. Smoke gets revealed, and Super going to hide himself away a little bit more.
He's going to munch away these tangos. It's going to take a little while, but he'll be back to full in a good 20 seconds or so, I think, from this thing's bottom lane.
Yeah, they're going to Dragon Slave up to Lifestrike Ray, but MMY is here and ready. Maledict along with the cask, and Yao turns back around onto How to try and get this kill. Lifestrike Array will land again. How? Oh, man. The time walk out. He bites back and actually haunts himself in. Dagger's going to land onto Yao. Can't backtrack that. And How comes back in with a double kill for his team. Worth?
It's definitely worth it. The buyback penalty is very short this early in the game because his death time is obviously short, so he's going to miss like 1 or 2 last hits, but that's it.
Action on both off lanes as Ice drops to the Morphling and Venge. Pretty easy kill once again, you know, stun into waveform, and Ice just dies.
He's, well, apart from that one rotation to mid, he's really not been that impactful just yet, but he will start getting... He's getting close to level 6, and at that point, the question is, like you said, well, now this top tier 1 tower is probably gonna fall very soon. As Ice is just gonna go in here, actually taking quite a bit of damage.
He has the call onto 2. Xiao 8, he's not level 6. He is level 6 now. Gets the Culling Blade down onto the Vengeful Spirit. Solo turns back around to try and fight through it, and with 1 auto attack, somehow hitting max damage there, takes down Ice again. But he defends his tier 1. He gets a nice little kill. Pops level 6.5.
That's worth it.
Yeah, that's definitely worth the death.
Yeah. And now the question is, when does he get his blink? Because that's obviously the build-up he'll be looking for. I don't think going for a build-up with a Vanguard here is going to be worth it, as, well, easy kill on the Witch Doctor Sniper, couple of Shrapnels, and just an Assassinate. There's probably nothing Witch Doctor can do about it. But this blink from Ice is going to be late. They haven't really... They've got a triple stack in the jungle, actually, so maybe not that late. They've stacked that one 3 times. The medium camp is stacked once, but one of the golems has gone on vacation, it looks like, so... Well, realistically, maybe 15-minute blink here for Ice. Not too bad, I guess.
Yeah, one of the golems gone. One of the ogres also gone from the medium camp here. I guess Sniper just poked his head in, taken the smaller creep, while he's waiting the creeps to meet back at mid lane. Yao heading into the treads, but Xiao 8 is behind him, smoked up with MMY. Venge and Witch Doctor, who are they hunting for? Actually, kind of interesting that LGD have done more rotations with their supports than VG have. They find Fenrir with Magic Missile. He'll try and disrupt himself, but it's too little too late. There's no way he's escaping from this as the Witch Doctor gets the last right click in. But yeah.
They're going to TP down FY. This is pretty late, but I think they're looking for a flank here with 4 levels in Spectral Dagger, actually, from Yao. Very unusual build here, or from Hal, sorry. Yes. Well, he's going to get jumped on with Chrono Zeus ult as well. Lots of damage. This cask, actually, could be huge.
Oh, big old Dragon Slave there from FY. Going to catch 2, and Assassinate finished them off. So, again,
right, it wasn't
Spectre, but they're going to double kill on Super.
It's interesting for me to see this skill build on Spectre, which to me is pretty unusual, maxing out the Spectral Dagger. I think it's mainly Hal who does this, so I'm not that surprised that he does it. But usually you see Spectres either maxing out Desolate for the Haunt to do a lot of damage, and then with 2 points in Dagger, or if you're really pressured, you might prioritize Dispersion early on, but that's a more unusual build. So, but with this Dagger build up, He has a lot of movement speed when he casts that dagger, and of course the slow on the enemy should not be underestimated either. And even though he dies here, 3 kills for Vici Gaming and probably a tier 1 tower as well.
Horn into mid, maybe caught out, ice, yep, gets the dunk down onto the Zeus. As How is being, like, we're talking about how active he can be, but this is more active than I'm used to from anyone on a Spectre. FY bot will drop to the Maledict and a few right clicks from Faceless Void. But I was thinking about these supports on VG. Shadow Demon Lina, I kind of thought, okay, they're going to be moving around, finding kills on the sniper, going to hunt down the Morphling maybe. But they've been stacking and pulling, they've been making the most out of their jungle, while one of them at a time has been moving around with Ice on the Axe or Super on the sniper.
Yeah, it's funny to see that Shadow Demon and Lina actually have the same KDAs when, like you said, they've not been moving around as a duo most of the time. But they've just been getting the job done. This is very efficient supporting. It's great to do rotations and smoke ganks and whatnot, but don't forget the farming aspect at the same time. And they've been taking care of business. It's very impressive that FY's Lina with all these rotations is currently level 7.5. The Sacrificial Lamb, of course, Fenrir being level 4.5, but levels on Shadow Demon compared to on Lina, not as important. If he hits level 6 anytime in the next 3 or 4 minutes, I think that's going to be fine.
Yeah, because now we're looking at an early Laguna Blade. Pretty damn good up against this Morphling, who's running around with limited HP, trying to build straight into that Lincolns. 1,000 HP, you know, he gets stunned up, Dragon Slave, with the Soul Catcher and Laguna Blade. That just rips him apart. In fact, they're going to go and try and find him now. Sylar, oh, almost walks into them. FY going to get spotted out. No, the smoke pops, but I don't think Sylar had vision there.
Wow. He went in to buy his Perseverance, right?
No, he already had it. I don't know what he was going in to buy.
Why was he there? Oh, bottom lane. Zeus ult's going to reveal him, yeah.
3 ultis for How. Takes down the Spectre with ease. But the thing is, LGD can't really turn this into a tier 1 tower. You know, they can pressure it, but the tier 1 being full HP, it's going to take a long-ass time to actually take it down.
Yeah, and Spectre could actually, I guess he has cooldown and buyback at minute 12, so he can't buy back Haunt if they wanted to take a fight here. So they might just be getting it and just trade it for the tier 1 mid. It's a fairly even trade, but considering, like you said, this bottom tower had full health, I think this is easily a better trade for LGD. Glyph will be used. Super actually porting down here. They might try for this one.
Well, they have no ultis. They know there's no chrono. The headshot actually stops Yao from finishing off the tower, and Assassinate finishes them off. Just about. Xiao 8 will get caught, but there's no further stun to stop him from just TPing away.
Oh, that was really, really good from Super. They're going to deny the tower as well.
That headshot proc, though. Yao lifts off his mace, is about to take the final blow onto the tower, and then, ping, suddenly gets a headshot.
My headshot is really brutal these days with the attack speed slow. Solo kill for ISS? Well, we talked about the blink tag. I was like, probably 15 minutes. Well, never mind. He got it minute 12-ish, so a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, and instantly with that debut, making it work out for him. Fenrir
level 11 too. Wow.
Yeah. After dying, what, 3 times? I guess he's had 5 kills.
He's out leveling the entire Dire lineup with the offlaner. That's pretty damn good.
That's actually crazy. How has he done it? I guess because he's moved to mid lane to find a couple of kills on the Zeus. But
well, he's got a lot of killing blows, right? He's got 5 kills, so that's the gold part. The experience is a lot of it was the triple. I think he got 2 triple stacks in the jungle by now. He shared this last one a bit with Fenrir, but the first one he got solo XP for. That's a lot of experience. And then the kills too, like this kill in mid on the the Zeus. When he gets it as a solo kill, he gets a lot of experience because he's not sharing it.
That's true. So
it's gotta be the way.
He probably jumped up about a whole level or something like that. We're looking at Zeus actually going back for a Midas here. He is going to be quite delayed, you know, Soul Ring, Tranquil's bottle, and then 1,000 gold away from the recipe.
I don't know about that. I know Midas Zeus is all the rage right now, but this is very late, like you said, and ultimately with how this game is going for Vici Gaming, what LGD might be trying is just, alright, this early game is not going the way we want. We're going to play for super late game and just read it up. Oh, wait a second. Top lane.
Back on How. The disruption will save him. Fenrir, have you allowed How to escape? Looks like it. With magic stick charges, he gets himself through the trees. And now MMY is the one in trouble. Full duration Death Ward means that you're stuck in one place for a long ass time. And Super says, thank you very much for the gold. Is he still chasing? I think he was kind of expecting How to maybe jump onto that illusion. But with such low HP, you don't just want to get stunned up and killed by the Soul Avenge. Oh, ice.
He smoked up. This is actually going to be a really good play, I think. The moment Xiao shows in lane, he's dead. So he better not show in lane.
He's not going to show on lane, though. He knows Super's there. If he gets a couple of right clicks, he's probably just going to get slowed down and killed. So it's kind of unfortunate. Okay. Ice blinks himself away. Doesn't want to go for that kill. Doesn't know quite where the rest of LGD are. But now they see Solid bot lane. He's nearly got his Lincolns completed. But fighting-wise, Lincolns isn't the best item. You know, it's great for split pushing. Great for farming safely. But actually going in and brawling, it saves you from one spell. Maybe it gives you a little more time to morph to strength, but doesn't give you any real big damage.
No, and it is a build-up item, right? It's for the split push safety. It's going to be really nice either against Disruption or against Laguna Blade in some cases. Maybe even an Assassinate he can block, or just the blocking Demonic Purge as well. Like any of those single target abilities will actually be really nice to block. But the problem for Sylar is going to be, it's a build-up item. Like you said, not good for fighting yet. He needs time, and can LGD buy that time? This Roche play is really good for that. This will make Vici's pushing a lot harder, not only because LGD have the Aegis, but because, well, Vici Gaming don't. So they can't really force the issue right now, and this buys time for Zeus to get his Midas, it buys time for Void to maybe catch some farm here. He's going to get Mask of Madness finally minute 17. After his fast start, I feel like this is pretty late.
Yeah, it's been a little bit unfortunate for him, the fact that he's died a couple of times. Actually, I've died 4 times. Twice, I think, on lane, and a couple of times when they've been actually fighting. But that Roche attempt could only really happen because they found that DD rune for Sylar. He went full agility down to like 500 HP.
LGD stacked this camp to get a little more farm for Yao, but the high ground ward is there for the Radiant. This is going to be a disaster for LGD, I think.
Ice blinks in. He only finds the Void, but they're not going to get the Chrono off. Good swap back from Xiao Wade. Will take Yao away, but not far enough. Disruption onto Ice, but 3 are already dead for LGD. Maledict will allow the Zeus to finish him off.
That's his Midas. At least that's something, but a 3-for-1. Now Sylar needs to be a little bit careful. He doesn't just throw away his Aegis here. Demonic Purge was used, but blocked by the Lincolns, I think? No, never mind.
He can still jump to his Replicant, and he will do that. Heads back down south, and I don't know, Assassinate gets cancelled or gets fogged there, so it should be just fine.
They would have been blocked by Lincolns anyway, so I think Sylar's perfectly fine here. I guess Super realizes, first of all, it would have been blocked, and secondly, even if it didn't, the damage wasn't enough. So nice play by Sylar here. If nothing else, just making space and preventing these 3 kills that Vici Gaming got from turning into any collateral. They didn't get a tower, they didn't get any wards out. They'll get the runes, which is at least something, if they want them. Looks like Super doesn't even want this haste rune. He'll give it to FY, by the looks of it. And maybe we'll take the bounty rune.
How is getting closer and closer to his relic, though? He's 3, 3, and 9. Oh, no! Not going relic at all. Saved up about 2,500 gold and goes back into the Blade of Alacrity. Is this going to be a Yasha or Diffusal, do you reckon?
That's a good question.
It's a difficult choice.
Yeah, the Diffusal is nice against the Morphling, but not really until you have the Manta. That's what I feel. He's going to get Diffusal first, though. No Ghost Scepters on the Dire yet that he could use it against. The Mana Burn is great on the Haunt, of course, as always. And the main hero it actually counters right now, the Mana Burn Diffusal, would be the Void, who, if he gets Mana Burn just a couple of times, won't actually have mana to jump Chrono and Mask of Madness, so that's nice. But Diffusal Blade gets really strong when you have the Manta, so you have 3 mana burning entities, and well, this, I don't know, honestly, how good this is compared to getting the Yasha for farming speed, turning that into Manta for damage, and then getting Diffusal as. There's a very easy solo kill here for LGD. Well, they had to Chrono, but...
Well, Ice is being a cheeky little devil, chasing maybe around the trees, but Yao came in with a Chrono, and yeah, like you said, pretty simple kill in the end. I'm just wondering now, I've been thinking about it, the Diffusal Blade. You've seen the Lincolns on Morphling, you expect him to go E-Blade next, right? So the natural progression is to go Ghost Scepter first into E-Blade. So is How actually preempting that to stop Sylar having an extra way of escaping?
Could be the case. Oh, top lane, Super and Fenrir actually going to town on Sylar here, who thought he was against Sniper 1-on-1. Not the case. Should probably be a death of Sylar here. That's the Aegis. They're going to get the hell out of here. Time
to run. FY going to try and find Yao, but won't land the Light Strike array over near the Ancient Pit.
But yeah, it's a good point with the Ghost Scepter. They will obviously need to proc the Lincolns first before he can Diffusal that Ghost Scepter. But it's a nice way of dealing with it. Alternatively, though, I do believe Demonic Purge should remove Ghost Scepter as well, since it's a Purge for all intents and purposes. I think it works the same.
Okay.
But it's just more flexibility, right? It's another way of doing it. Whoops, super messing up the last hit there. Sala gets the deny.
No way, Sala, you cheeky bugger.
But yeah, it's a nice idea for that. We'll see if that's well, the Ghost Sifter has been purchased, I think. So now the play is definitely there. Let's see if he can make it happen. Pretty much simultaneous pickups actually here. So very nice.
Very nice indeed. We saw FY going into the enemy ancients to try and find a kill on Yao. Thunder God's Wrath just thrown out to scout out. They know where Ice is. They know he's alone, but there's no one really in the region to try and take him out. Both Ice supports now farming up the Radiant jungle. They've got quite a lot to their name. You know, they're not doing too badly. They haven't been shut down. MMY looks like he's going for his patented Midas Witch Doctor build.
Do you really think so?
He's done it a bunch of times over the past week and a half or so. Go Midas and then straight into Aghanims, then Shadowblade after.
This is going to be like a minute 25 Midas, though. I don't know.
It's fine.
I think he's going to buy the point booster. Let's see. Well, it's decision time.
Come on, Midas. Please buy the Midas. Don't let Sin be right.
Well, why isn't he buying the recipe if he wants to?
I don't know.
Well, he's keeping for buyback, maybe. I don't know.
Well, he had this thing before where...
wants to use less reliable gold.
It was like 3 or 4 days ago when he bought the Midas a couple of games in a row. And then a game yesterday, he saved up enough for the Midas recipe and realized, okay, I need to buy wards. So I'll buy wards and point booster. But there's the recipe. Let's see if he sells it or if he keeps it.
Okay.
That's the thing. He had this quandary before. He bought the Midas recipe and thought, no, hang on, I need to buy wards and I'll get myself a point booster. Those diffusal spectral haunt delusions are really annoying.
Look at, well, I'm not sure if Yao had full mana when that happened. I guess he didn't, but of course with the new diffusal, which has a flat 25 mana burn on both diffusal 1 and 2, it's more powerful in the diffusal 1, and that means just a couple of swings from this, like let's say the Spectre Haunt hits Yao 4 times, then he loses 100 mana. Then he actually can't use Time Walk and Chrono unless if he tread switches or doesn't use Mask of Madness. And in the heat of the moment, you might not be thinking about that because it goes really fast. You get haunted, you're like, shit, I need to jump Chrono.
Yeah.
And if you hesitate a little bit longer, maybe you get hit a 5th time. And then suddenly you don't have mana anyway. So he might need a magic stick on the Void or some way of compensating for his low mana pool.
Time to buy a Soul Ring. Soul Ring Faceless Void. Or, well, Soul Ring Mech and 12 cells. Let's do it Slasher's way.
Slasher's way. Absolutely.
Well, he's going into a BKB more likely than not here. We see a lot of Chinese Voids skip past the Maelstrom and go straight into a BKB. Against Lina and Shadow Demon, you kind of understand that. You know, once you chrono someone, you don't want to get disrupted, you don't want Light Strike Array landing on your head. You just want that uninterrupted time when the world goes blank and you can zone in on a target and try and kill them.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know, I feel like this game has stalled out a little bit now. There's not too much happening from either side. They're pretty happy with farming, and then we're back to square one. Well, who has the better late game? You could say when it comes very late, the Void will have a lot of items, but his farming rate is very low. He's got 80 CS minute 24, which is to be expected as an offlane Void, so that... Just looking... Uh-oh, wait a second, bottom lane, Yao, How?
Yao and How. Sylar jumps in, but the good saving disruption once again. How gets stunned up by the adaptive strike, but MMY again is going to be the one that's caught out because of his death ward. Both supports and LGD are taken out of the fight. Sylar tries to TP the Haunt in. Can they stop him? No, they can't.
I always mess it up when Yao and How are playing against each other. Like, I don't know, I see the AO in the name and I just call randomly Yao or How wrong like half the time.
It's one of the two.
It's difficult to get used to.
Well, How and the Spectre are going to be thankful that Fenrir was just, you know, standing in range, ready with a disruption to save him. Because that Death Ward does a shit ton of damage. And Midas is actually done. Midas completed by MMY, so he's going to be running around, trying to get up to level 11 and building up into the Aghanims.
And this is just such a long build-up, though. This Ags is... I think the picking up the Midas here is probably going to delay the Ags. It's going to be slower than if he just built into it flat, but it's for the secondary item after the Ags, and of course it's for the levels, right? That's a big part of the Midas, is getting the level 11 and the 16. And with this early game of MMY where he's tuned 7, he's probably going to need to find experience other ways than kills right now, because every single fight he just dies. That's pretty much what's happening right now, so...
The Midas is for the build-up into Shadowblade.
Absolutely, no Ags. wants that item.
Shadow Blade after Ags. This is actually his build. I'm not. I'm not.
I know. I thought you were saying he was getting Shadow Blade next.
Oh no, no. You need
Definitely
the Ags.
next.
You can't just go straight Shadow Blade. Need those bounces. Shao 8 defending bot tower up against Sniper, but this isn't really a battle that he wants to face up against. Goes back down the ramp and says, okay, well, you can plink away at my tower. The rest of my team's hunting down How. Once again up on this top lane.
I think VG Gaming feel pretty confident with this, seeing how passive the Venge is, and ISSI's gonna run in, actually. Gets hit by the Wave of Terror. And they might just let this tower get denied now.
Or
maybe not.
Solo went for the deny, and it looks like they'll just take the tower and back themselves up. There's no real point in contesting. Swap back. ISSI's now caught in a lot of trouble. Thunder God's Wrath allows them to secure that as top lane. MMY, Soul Catcher and a couple of right clicks. Holy crap. MMY went from like 75% HP to 0 with one hit from How, who actually then jumps back down to bot lane. He's caught now in between Sylar and Yao. This isn't really where he wanted to be, surely.
He might live. He might live.
Daggers over the trees. There's no more mana. There's Lightning Bolt. Yeah.
Okay.
Chain Lightning even.
Good thing that Zeus showed up there. I think Morphling might have not even been able to get that kill. And I think you saw it right there. Alright, so Chrono had been used earlier by Void, and he gets hit by the Haunt Illusion a couple times. So Yao shows up in the bottom lane. He doesn't have anything. He didn't have any mana, so he could just... He would run at the Spectre and try to hit him. So... Well, they still got the kill.
Yeah, overall that favors LGD. You know, Sylar escapes with a bit more gold in his pocket. In fact, what's he sitting at? Not too far away from the E-Blade, about 450 until he finishes that up. Then he's going to be looking to target down these non-BKB carriers.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I was looking at Super because I heard the click of the gun getting ready to assassinate, but FY was one step ahead, already taken down the Faceless Void. And now Shao 8.
The Yules, this is another kill, I think.
Yeah, especially when Ice jumps in with his Blade Mail. Won't get to clean up with the Culling Blade because the assassinate from Sniper. It's a little bit too quick.
This Sniper is so rich, I don't even know. Like, he's 9-0-6 with 200 CS minute 27. This is pretty much the ideal Sniper game. The only thing you can really put a finger on. He could have had more farm, but they're playing so actively and he's taking part in all the fights, so I don't know if he, under these circumstances, could have had more farm, but... And also the jungle stacks were taken by Ice instead of Super himself.
Yeah.
Well, that's a double kill that's going to give them the Roshan. I don't think LGD will be on time for this. And this is probably going to turn into towers as well for VG Gaming.
Well, Sylar wants to go in with the E-Blade, I think, here, but who's he target? How? No, jumps in.
Oh,
Tries to steal it, but not quite. Horn comes out, they'll try and chase down MMY here. Sylar probably not going to be the... Okay, maybe he is a pretty easy target. They throw down the E-Blade, but How just swiping away. Shao 8 now caught in the Berserker's Call, and Ice finishes them off. Good Chrono onto 3, onto 4 in fact. But in the end, LGD are just losing heroes left and right. The BKB on Super makes him absolutely untouchable. Where's Ice going? He's going in on Yao again. Really? Diving behind tier 3s when the tier 2s are still standing. Why the hell not?
I think that fight was just perfect from VG Gaming. I don't know what they could have done better. They did everything right. Their initiation, the haunt, they quickly find the Witch Doctor. They almost, well, maybe they could have actually cleaned up because Sylar dropped very low but didn't die. But all the movements, the disruption from Shadow Demon instantly onto the target in the Chrono. The Chrono caught everyone else than SD, and he disrupts the target that Void could have killed in that Chrono. Yep. They reset. They find the Zeus. The Venge swapped out the Morphling, which was the big play there, because else Morph was totally dead, out of mana. Big swap, heads-up play from Xiao, it at least keeps him alive, but man, they still lose the other 4. That was such a big spike on the goal. The last few minutes have been a 5,000 game for VG Gaming.
Yeah, I kind of saw Sylar in a decent position. I thought, oh, he's perfectly fine. But the damage coming out from Sniper and the Spectre, I just didn't expect that amount. I guess because he was alone, Sylar didn't have anyone near him. There were no creeps, no other heroes. How's Deathslay just ripped him to shreds? A big old Chrono from Yao, but couldn't really do too much with it. MMY was already dead, like you said. There was no Death War. There was no real follow-up. And the AoE damage that they've got, coming from the Zeus, who was caught out in the wrong area of that team fight, not really forthcoming. Thunder God's Wrath going to be used once again just to scout VG out to see where they're heading. If they're smoking up to play aggressively once again.
Yeah. I want to point out how hard it is being MMY in this game. I totally understand him getting the Midas here, going for the greedy build-up, but you can just see in every single fight he just dies pretty much to Haunt.
Oh, Shao 8. He gets a ward down, His job is done. Sylar going to try the kill on FY. Will get it, in fact, as down here, How finishes off the Vengeful Spirit. Maledicent Death Ward, How? Oh, man. He's got Aegis Immortal, so he'll pop himself back up. Dagroff cooldown in 1 second as Ice Slice blinks in. Will not find Maybe, who blinked himself out. MMY, maybe.
Are they actually gonna live here?
Hiding in the trees. No.
Oh yeah, backtrack assassinate.
Really?
If they live here, this is like the sickest hit and run.
MMY.
There's no way in hell they should have lost only 1 hero for this, but it's actually gonna work.
What? They lose Venge,
Wow.
they kill Lina, they take Aegis off of How. MMY has no mana to TP for another like 5 or 6 seconds, but it looks like he's perfectly fine.
That's unbelievable. They should have lost 3 or 4 heroes there, but their escape maneuver was pretty much perfect.
MKB now for the sniper though. Kinda limits Sylar in his item progression. What do you even go for? We've seen Sylar a lot of the times go BKB on Morphling, but I don't know if Lincoln's BKB is gonna be the best for fighting up here. But what other options do you have? Now the butterfly is kinda out the window. Manta? But it doesn't.
Yeah,
it
he
doesn't
might go
offer
for
you
Manta. Manta gives a lot of agility, which is nice for E-Blade. So does Butterfly, obviously. But like you said, there's MKB on Sniper. I still think he has to get a Butterfly at some point. It's still just going to be an extremely good item for the Morphling for the stats. The attack speed, all of it is nice. The Flutter is a nice way of dealing with Sniper, getting onto you with... getting out of the shrapnel a bit faster. Since the evasion doesn't matter, right? Then you might as well Flutter against Sniper. So I still think that's a nice choice, but for me it's got to be Manta. More split pushing, more damage on the E-Blade, more elusiveness, can maybe, if he times it well, avoid something like a Light Strike Array. But is there anything he can actually break with the Manta is the question. I don't think so.
Doesn't look like it. Try and dodge Laguna Blade. That's the play.
Yeah, well that's a big play too, I agree.
Pretty difficult though, but we'll see what he goes for. I'm still thinking that he'll go, for the butterfly, just because that's comfort zone. That's regular item build for him. MMY spamming out the Midas. He's got enough for his point booster, but not spending it just yet. Do you like the copy pasta, Sind? Do you like
Absolutely.
it?
I love it. We're apparently really fat today. That's good.
They have no chins.
Another very fat day.
Another fat day in Dota 2. VG.
Well, they got the tier 2 mid.
Yeah.
So
1 tier 2 remaining.
Now the map is slowly falling apart here for LGD, but they're still going to be able to counter ward decently here with the Zeus as, whoa, this is a lot of intelligence that could be gained here by FY. He will be scouted, I think, by that lightning bolt. So maybe not as much as he wanted.
They're still looking for him. But FY...
I said it first.
Yeah, you said it first, whatever. Korea? Korea? I don't know, does FY want to go for this? He's got no TP, he's got no Blink or Force Staff, so it's not really what he wants to go for. Haunt will come in, and they insta-kill MMY in the back. Really low range swap there from Xiao 8. He'll get taken down by How. Is over on the right-hand side. He'll try and keep both kills in camera view. Zeus falls to the sniper, but Super can't get the kill steal over on the left. Sylar's still farming up on this top lane. Well, VG look to break base, probably.
MMY doesn't get to play his hero.
No.
That's just what this game feels like. Every single time a fight breaks out, Witch Doctor dies. It's like the most predictable thing in every team fight is MMY will die first, and then we'll see what happens. He's got a Ghost Scepter now to try to deal with the sniper's right clicks, which is great. He can still get purged by the Spectre though, and if he uses Ghost Scepter, he gets one-shot by Laguna Blade.
Yeah,
so
that's happening. That's
pretty difficult.
I mean, we've seen it go from MMY.
Racks.
Yeah. 35 minutes in, we've seen MMY, go from getting full duration ultis off and making a big impact in fights, to then just dying instantly. Ice pops his BKB to secure the racks here as Sniper. Oh, Chrono, no good use from FY, stopping Yao, swap back, and they'll take down Alina. They need some kind of collateral here as Ice blinks away, and the rest of VG back themselves up and say goodbye.
Melee Rex for Alina sounds like a pretty good trade to me.
Yao once more, okay. They Chrono the axe, they'll get him now. Sylar will finish him off with a waveform and adaptive strike during the Chrono, because that's meant to happen.
Because when you're a wave, you're not affected by time.
Space and time are meaningless to waves. Well, it depends what kind of wave he is, It could be a radio wave, could be a microwave, but I'm pretty sure he is just made of water.
I think all waves are affected by time.
I don't really care.
Okay.
I care not for your earthly physics.
Never mind then.
Yeah, scouting at Roshan, another 40 seconds or so until we find out when it respawns. Radiance, whoa! How goes back for the Radiance? 35 minutes in. So he went Diffusal Yasha. The casual Vitality Booster was like his first major-ish item. But Radiance.
I think he just got surprised with how much gold he got from that last fight. The fight plus the racks gives him maybe 2,000 gold from that exchange, and he's like, wow, all of a sudden, instead of buying my ultimate orb, I actually have the gold for a relic in a few hundred, so I'll probably just try for the Radi. And it is a late Radiance, but it's still very nice. When you look over LGD's side, a lot of their heroes are very fragile, so just the damage over time from Radiance actually poses a lot of problems for both Vengeful Spirit, Witch Doctor, and the Zeus. Actually, I should be saying Void, because Void is really not tanky at all. 1100 health minute 36. The Zeus is more tanky than the Void almost.
Yeah, Yao did actually go for the Maelstrom, which I wasn't really expecting, and now is going for the BKB, so I guess he felt he needed a little more attack damage. BKB is picked up by Sylar. The one item which I called like 10 minutes ago that he loves to go for, I forgot when we were talking about the, oh, Ice, oh hello. Courier dead, 1200 gold on it, what was it? Oh, you'll never guess what it was. MMY is not having a good game.
No. What was on there?
Point booster for MMY.
No.
Yep.
No.
It's really, really sad. He just bought it and it gets dunked by Ice. Super tragic. Sylar up on his top lane. Replicate is back towards base while he's trying to push into tier 3. But how is Heron ready?
Yeah, they could be just looking. I think if you're Vici Gaming now, you just keep split pushing with the Spectre. You slow down a little bit, deward the map. You see the vision right now for the Dire actually 4 wards covering a very nice part of the map here around the middle area. So you can't go unnoticed at this point, I think. And with the gem pickup now from Shadow Demon, they're looking to take over the map first, then probably push the tier 2 top, and then look for a fight. Unless, well, Xiaohui, he walked through that ward.
Yeah,
oh, look who they found.
Exactly,
Oh,
look who
no.
they found instead. Xiaohui's going to get scattered by the Halt. The blink forward from Ice will take him down. LGD. Oh man, how has actually got into the base? With the Diffusal Blade, he nearly solo kills Yao, but pops his BKB. Assassinate, not going to do too much as the Spectre bails back, but still dies to the tier 3.
Yao really conservative there with the BKB, hitting Spectre in the face multiple times in melee range, which of course will be dealing a lot of damage to him in return with the dispersion. And almost died, popped the BKB last moment, and they do get the kill. A little over-aggressive from Hal, but it's part of his playstyle, and it's those high-risk, high-reward plays that he goes for sometimes, and that's just the nature of those plays. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. If he got away with that and killed the Void, that could have probably been a lane of racks. Instead, they're going to have 50 seconds on the sideline.
Ice being super ballsy though. What's his next item? He went for the BKB, he has the Blade Mail and Blink. I don't know if Ags is ever, you know, that effective gold-wise. You know, there are bigger, better items like Shivas that you could go for. You can build up these much more luxury items rather than go for an Aghanims, because it gives you decent stats. It drops the threshold a little bit. But for the price you're paying, I don't feel it's that great.
Which item was that, sorry?
Ags on the Ags.
Yeah, I don't think that's the build-up for Ice now. He's probably looking for... I want to say a Shiva's Guard at this point. Just slow down the attack speed of both the Void and the Morphling, and just a nice extra bit of damage and tankiness for himself. That or an AC, I think, would be best. AC might actually have more merit, since both the Sniper and Spectre will be hitting all the time. It's very easy for them to lock onto targets and get the damage out, so minus armor is actually very nice for the Radiant lineup, but... alternatively, he could get a heart, so he doesn't get like blown up by a shotgun combo from Sylar.
Have you seen what Super has bought? Super's Batcher Sniper.
Oh, that's...
He wants the old sniper back. He wants the mini stun, so he buys himself a Basher.
Well, it's a 10% chance. If you look at these fights and how fast he attacks with Mask of Madness and MKB's attack speed, he gets it pretty frequently. Or I should say SNY's attack speed actually does more than MKB in that regard. Sylar. Oh. I just didn't get the blink off there. A little surprising. But yeah, this looks like a solution to... well, honestly, I don't know. Like, why is he really getting this Basher? I'm not really seeing the obvious thing you want to interrupt. You can interrupt Death Ward, but let's be honest, MMY hasn't cast a spell in the last 20 minutes, so you don't really need that.
Come on, he's used healing Voodoo Restoration once or twice. You can't say he's not cast anything.
Okay, well, it's pretty close.
And look, Cask was on cooldown, so he's definitely throwing them out onto creeps or something like that. Vengeful Spirit buys a cloak. Basher, does Basher proc Lincolns? I can never remember this. No, it doesn't. Does Maelstrom still do that? It does, right?
No, I also
don't do it anymore.
These interactions is like you need to learn it all by heart almost.
Yeah.
There's been some changes lately in Dota 2 over the last year that have made it a little more intuitive how things work, but there's still a lot of odd ones out remaining. I don't think any orb procs can trigger Lincolns anymore, but I could be wrong on that.
Oh, Fenrir forces finds a haste and will just about escape with very low HP. Isis not going to be so lucky though. Death Ward gets thrown down. MMY finally gets his chance to shine as Lightstrike Ray will catch Xiao down in the back. Alina. FY finding a kill there as Yao and MMY hunted down by the Spectral Haunt, maybe in the back lines, but Sylar, where the hell are you? Fighting up against 3! The rest of your team has bailed on you while you're going man mode here against the Sniper. Maybe now jumps back in with the lightning bolt, they find a big old kill and take Super's godlike streak. FY gonna pay? This is a big fight for LGD. They have basically wiped, actually they did wipe VG.
Yeah, they bought back the axe and Ice never got back into the fight. Well, what do you know? The first time Witch Doctor gets to really plays hero, they manage to take the fight. That's just the initiation there. So they lose Axe and he gets Chrono. So they're like, okay, Chrono's on cooldown. We can probably take this fight. And they try to flank. Lina flanks and immediately destroys the Vengeful Spirit. But no one can deal with Sylar right now. With the BKB and Manta, it's a big part of the Morphling pick here is that he's really good at fighting up against Sniper. He just closes the gap very easily. Waveform or making a replicate and immediately jumping into it, and he just gets on top of Super, prevents him from going for whatever he wants to do. And let's be honest, that Basher doesn't really do that much in a fist fight against a Morphling with BKB.
No, definitely not, but you can see how well Sylar knows this hero. He was in there fighting 1 versus 3, the rest of his team had backed up, but they were able to blink forward, get into a position where they could help him out, and just clean up completely. I still can't believe though, Sylar was literally there. BKB'd up, and VG couldn't do anything about him. He was just morphing to strength, they've got no Hex, they've got no real solid disable. Outside of disruption into Lightstrike Array. Berserker's Call, okay, fair enough, but Ice, like you said, was dead already to the Chrono.
I really think VG Gaming need minus armor. That's one of the issues they're facing right now. When you're playing against a Morphling, you know, one of the classic counter picks to Morphling has been Elder Titan in the past, where you just remove all of his base armor when he's in agility. So, when it comes to Morphling morphing over, either he has a lot of armor from having a lot of agility and low health, and then minus armor is incredibly good, or he has a lot of health and then he has very little armor, and then still the minus armor will bring him below 0, and you start dealing really high damage even when he has a lot of health. But when you don't have minus armor, killing a Morphling at this point in time is almost impossible, since, like, you see how fun this Sniper is, but his damage is not sufficient, since all of his damage is, what's Morphling's armor right now? 34. So, 67% physical damage reduction. He takes a third of the damage of Sniper. What's that? 100 damage per hit? Maybe 150? It's nothing when he has Aegis, and he can even Manta to try and confuse him, and then when he starts dropping low, he just switches over. They need either a Medallion on Shadow Demon, they need the Cuirass on the Axe, or maybe even, I don't know if Desolator would be the choice here, but it was actually something they could consider. Oh, Chrono!
Super gets chronoed up. Yao and Sylar both gonna take him out. It goes from Sniper having that beyond godlike streak to now Sylar holding godlike of his own. Fenrir gonna try and TP out. Adaptive Strike not gonna get there in time.
Very nice TP.
I was just looking at the golden XP graphs though. It's gone from over a 10,000 lead for VG in terms of net worth down to 0. 14,000 experience down to 0. LGD have brought this game back. They're 1 lane of racks down, but you've got to feel that they're in the driving seat. You know, we were talking about how VG looked like they had the better late game heroes overall, but if you don't itemize for late game, if you've got all of these early game items where you've got Blade Mails, you've got Sanjin Yasha, trying to break the base by 35-40 minutes, you're falling off at this point.
Yeah, Hao has decided to build into Heart, and there's something we actually haven't talked about with him either yet. Top lane actually, Ice forced to use BKB. So, Hao is going to have a Heart soon. this Morphling pick is actually extremely good. It's like very multi-purpose. It's like we talked about with the tankiness. They don't have much minus armor for Ichi Gaming. Their lineup will struggle to kill Morphling right now. He can replicate, or he can come in close. Wait a second on that. They're catching off Sylar.
But Yao doesn't have Chrono. They'll find leader. They've taken down the Morphling, and Aegis Immortal must have expired as they find more. Xiao 8 gets taken down, but ISS couldn't find the call onto the Faceless Void.
That was a little bit of misplay there. They still do end up trading, so Sylar, without the Aegis there, they quickly, if they catch Morphling off guard once and bring him down like that, the fight is over. Like, Morphling is everything for LGD in these fights right now. It's very important that Sylar doesn't make any mistakes, and the moment he makes one, they take a pretty big loss here. But what I was going to say about Spectre playing against Morphling. Morphling is a very classic counter pick since you replicate the Spectre, and Spectre often carries all of these items that are actually really good just passively. The Diffusal on the Illusion will work, the Radiance on the Illusion will work, and ultimately that's going to force either Spectre to purge the Replicate Illusion or for them to use Demonic Purge on it. They can't just let a Replicate run around of the Spectre. So it's a very nice potential play out of Sylar that he might have done once or twice, but I haven't seen it that much compared to how you like traditionally play the Morphling into Spectre.
Yeah, it's kind of like when we used to see Morphling against Anti-Mage. You make that illusion of the AM, burn his mana back so he can't blink away, and then try and fight him up. Yao is hiding in the trees, ready to jump in, but Ice. Okay, Invis wears off. So he's not going to go for any sneaky plays here. We did see Tier 4s take a little bit of damage there, as LGD were pushing into the top tower, but VG seem really timid right now, and I don't blame them. They know that losing one fight here, buyback status, what are we looking at? Sniper and Shadow Demon are the only people on VG with buybacks. They can't push the issue. They can't really pressure into the base that much. How needs 1,000 gold. Ice needs another minute until he can buy back. They need to sit back a little bit.
I think Vici Gaming are going to win this game if they get the next Roche and they put the Aegis on the Spectre. Then Spectre's going to have 3 lives. She's going to have the first life, then she's going to reincarnate with Aegis, die again, and then she can buy back Haunt. So the moment you get this late game item on Spectre, Aegis as an item, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spectre will force them to engage on her. She'll just keep hitting the tower. If she gets harassed a lot but they don't commit, she can just run back, regen with Heart, and reset and re-go as top lane. Nice replicate out from Sylar. Not going to be a single kill found here.
The timing on that Thunder God's Wrath, though, I've got to say. I saw the Thunder God's Wrath, I saw them moving up to top lane. It scouted out and cancelled Ice's blink. There was going to be a blink call onto Sylar, then Laguna Blade and all the nonsense to follow. Even Hao wanted to haunt in there. But that one move from from Maybe, saving Sylar.
I still feel like this is Vici's game. I know the gold has been pulled back by LGD to 0, but just swap. They found Super. Oh, nice E-Blade. On he purged an illusion, he misclicked. Oh,
Super now maybe in a little bit of trouble. Lightning Bolt down onto him, the Refresher, and Thunder God's Wrath the second time. Finishes off Fenrir's Shadow Demon. Can Sylar close the gap? Ice wants to stop this, but Lightning Bolt from Maybe will take down the Sniper, who does have buyback. But LGD just want to rampage through the tier 2, maybe even just go into tier 3s here. Their top lane is being pushed in. How? Cannot fight up against this. MMY has his Aghanim's. MMY is ready to go.
MMY is ready to die, I think. It's going to port out. Xiaowei just lost.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Vengeful Spirit, see ya. Top
that
lane
was still a really big win, though, for LGD overall. 3 kills for 1. They don't really lose anything. You were pointing out they're pushing top. They lost 500 health in this top tower. Actually, Lina split pushing at that point in time. But the most important thing out of all, Roshan has respawned. If LGD get this, they might have just bought themselves 10 more minutes in the game. And the scary thing is, like, until this Void gets super big, I simply don't think LGD can win the game. He has to have that double chrono probably, or at least a chrono in which he deals significant damage, for them to be able to finish off the game. Since VG will have buybacks, Spectre, arguably the best hero in the game to have buyback on. Very difficult to fight into. How almost dying to Roche? They might not even be well, if Spectre Honda right now might have found an easy kill on Yao, but has no idea this is going on.
She's picked up by MMY. Haunt goes out. They're going to chase him down. Yao, they know he's on low HP, but I don't know, do you jump in here? The E-Blade goes out. Yao going to drop. Chrono down to Hao, but he's already dead.
MMY might die. Oh,
he's burning to Dispersion and the Radiance burn, but Yao comes back to life. MMY still has the cheese. I don't know, they take Roche, but they lose out on... Wait, hang on a sec. Yeah.
They lost the Aegis. They still have the cheese on the Witch Dock. So... Well, you were talking about how MMY wants to go Shadowblade. He almost has it now. I don't know if he's going to get it this game, though. I think the build this time around might be BKB. And the only counter on the Radiant is Axe's Call.
No, it's a Blink Dagger.
I mean, you can also Laguna his face. That's pretty powerful, too. This is a support Lina, by the way.
Yeah.
Level 22 with Blink Yule's Aghanims and 5k gold. So, FY will start becoming... Like, he's barely at position 4 right now.
Oh no, I was talking about this.
He's actually out farmed Axe.
During the draft, I was saying that the last time I saw FY Lina, he was in this 4 role, but he went like 14 and 3, was out leveling off laners, was out leveling mid laners, and yeah, caught out. Laguna Blade, they'll take him down with a dunk. And that's Morphling down and out for 100 seconds. Will we force a buyback here, surely, as VG are on the verge of taking another lane of Rax.
This is actually the best counter that Vici Gaming have to the Morphling, since if you morph a lot into agility, obviously your health is very low, and Laguna Blade being pure with the Ag Scepter can take away about 2/3 of Morphling's health pool when he's morphed into full agility. So FY getting this item might have been the most important item pickup for Vici Gaming in this game in at least the last 20 minutes. And they demonstrate it right there. They get the kill on the morph. He does have buyback, and I don't think Vici Gaming want to try to force it out. Well, maybe they do. This could backfire, though. They have barely any mana on the Lina right now. No Laguna, mana. Oh, they have the rest. Maybe they can do it.
So if they force the buyback, Sylar TP's in, and they lose a team fight here, is it such a massive deal? Because they've got buybacks on the majority of their heroes. The only one without is the Shadow Demon. So even if LGD do go galloping down mid lane and try and take a tier 3 of their own, they can all buy back and turn things back around, but I don't know, taking tier 3 and taking objectives here is going to be the main goal from VG.
Alright, get the tower.
How is Invis? Berserker's called now, they've seen Xiaowei, they've caught him out, there's going to be no defensive swap for this. Laguna Blade not thrown as Ice misses out on the Culling Blade threshold. Good disruption there from Fenrir. Saving super from Yao in that chrono. And MMY, even with the Axe ult, you can't pump out enough damage. Sylar's now alive. They buy back the Void, but it just looks a little bit too late. Unless Sylar gets into the middle of the fight. Takes down How. Ice turns back around with the Berserker's Call. Yao looking for more, but super on the trail out.
Yeah, how about back and Haunted in for this? If he dies again, this is pretty big trouble for Vici Gaming.
Well, he gets bashed, he gets right click down, super on the low ground.
Okay.
Yeah, no way.
That is not the play.
It looks like Sylar's going to pay for this as well. Dodges the
nice
assassin.
Timing on the wave. Well, the throne is almost down, so okay.
That's happening. GG is gold. We're looking at top lane and thinking tier 3's dying, racks are going down. Meanwhile, middle lane is double catapult and big old creeps whacking away at the throne.
I don't think LGD were aware that the throne was taking that much damage when they started diving with the Morphling and the Void. It's like no way they were expecting that.
Oh well. Game number 1.
Still, that got a little bit. Oh, with Vici Gaming having a godlike sniper as early as they did in their lineup overall, I was expecting them to win, but I think LGD showed some pretty good moves in the mid game here, and if they don't fall as far behind early as they did here with the 10k deficit, they might be able to take game 2.
Yeah, it definitely showed some very strong resilience there against VG's aggression, but overall, VG take game number 1 here in the best of 3. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with game number 2 to see what LGD can do to bring it back. Don't go anywhere.